if you think about it, your success in math just comes down to how well you study before the test. Theoretically, math can be broken down into three key factors: your fundamentals, your ability to apply them, and most importantly, your confidence. Firstly, we have your fundamentals. Before an exam or during regular study sessions, I know many of you just try to solve as many math problems as possible, and I used to do that too as well. But what I noticed is that even after solving countless problems, I still didn't feel confident. I still felt anxious. It felt like I was missing something that was very crucial that I haven't studied. And when the exam actually came, I still struggled. Even though I practiced 4 to 5 hours every single day before the exam and solving problems and word problems from different books. After reflecting on those moments, I realized that the way I was studying was kind of inefficient. I was essentially just memorizing the steps to solve specific problems rather than truly understanding the fundamental concepts behind it. That's why whenever I encountered a new problem that I hadn't solved and seen before, I would basically have zero chance on solving it. And just like that, I'd lose 10 points in the exam. This is why mastering the fundamentals is very important. But what are the fundamentals exactly? The most useful and common areas in math that I've been using is firstly algebra, geometry, and a little bit of measurements, or basically just converting centimeters to inches, feet to inches, and the like. So you can just search online on how to start improving on these subjects and aim to at least practice 1 hour every day on improving these fundamentals. Additionally, if you improve in your fundamentals, it will help you finish your math exam much faster. And that is actually very important in a test, because you actually don't want to take your time. You want to finish the test as soon as possible and then redo it again, so you can make sure that your answers are actually correct and you'll feel much more confident in passing the paper. Secondly, we have your application. Now, this is actually where solving as many problems as you can comes into play. But before in doing that, you have to ask your professor where they get their references for their quizzes, lectures, past exam, and the like. And usually in their PowerPoint presentation, you can find that in their reference links and you can ask them for that. And after you've got the references from your professors, there's actually a very high chance that those are the books that are being used by other professors as well in the subject. And it is basically their database on where to find questions and problems for exams. So if you finish all the word problems and practice tests in those references or books, then there is a very high chance that those problems will come out in the exam. However, if your professor doesn't tell you because they think it's unfair, well, you can just invest in some books such as this or soft copies online of the most popular math books. And trust me, this book right here basically made my test scores from this to this. Now, when you actually start to solve the problems in the books that you got, first of all, you need to pace yourself properly. Start with the easy problems first so that you'll be able to get into the flow state when you get to the harder problems. Solving easy problems will basically give you that little hit of dopamine that will motivate you into actually studying for a longer amount of time. And you won't feel depressed that if you started with a hard problem first and you weren't able to solve it, it won't feel that bad since you've already solved easier problems beforehand. Secondly, you need to time yourself when you actually solve those problems and ask yourself, in an exam, what should be my desired solving time for this particular topic? This will not only help you gauge your mastery in certain topics in math, but help you understand what type of problems you should solve first in the exams that will help you solve as many problems as possible. Lastly, don't focus on one topic. Solving easy problems in multiple topics will help you much better because you'll avoid the feeling of not studying fast enough. Because what would happen is if you would go all in the first few topics, later on, you will just completely burn out and fail to study the rest of the topics. Lastly, we have your confidence. Even after following all the steps that I mentioned, it's inevitable for you to feel nervous. Here's the thing. Nervousness is not a bad thing. Don't feel bad about it if you feel nervous. Even high-level athletes experiences nervousness too, but they just know how to handle it much better. So basically, believe in yourself and don't be afraid of failure. Don't let the fear of a scenario where you gave it your all and still fail control your work ethic, and hold you back from putting in 100% of your effort. It might seem cringy and corny, but remember that failure is just a part of your journey toward your success.